Welcome to Love and Logic's Parenting Children with Health Issues. Do you ever wonder how to raise children who are confident, respectful, and responsible? Kids who eat right and take their medications all by themselves? Many parents rely on the rant, rave, rescue, and remind approach to parenting. And while this might work in the short run, it won't in the long run, especially if your kids are teenagers. So how do children really learn responsibility? With the 5 essential E's of love and logic. Join Dr. Foster Cline, a child psychiatrist, and Lisa Greene, a parent educator and mom of 2 kids with cystic fibrosis, as they discuss the 5 essential E's for raising responsible kids.
Hi there, my name is Lisa Greene and I am here with Dr. Foster Cline, and we are going to continue on with our little brief lessons about the 5 E's of love and logic, and today we are talking about empathy, empathy is the most important skill. And the idea of empathy is that when our kids make mistakes, and we consider misbehavior to be a mistake, we respond with empathy or sad for, not mad at, which is not an easy thing to do. I mean, when we have a little kid who's acting up, it's really easy to react in frustration and anger and get all upset at the kid, but that doesn't cause a good parental relationship in the long run. And not only that, but then when we give the child consequences, they're more focused on the adult's anger and frustration than they are actually learning the lesson.
Well, I think though, Lisa, we have to be completely clear about something. We're not saying don't give your kid consequences.
No.
We're saying the way in which you give consequences is important. You see, when you get a ticket from a cop, and a cop gives you a ticket, they say, well, lady or sir, you weren't looking at your speedometer. What do you think it's for? You know, it's really hard for us when there are people driving around like you. This is not an easy job. You know, we're going to end up resentful. In other words, and even if they say, I'm going to give you a warning today, we still think, we look at the cop and we say, God, what a jerk. What a jerk he was. But, you know, on the other hand, if the cop says, you know, this is a place where a lot of people speed and we're trying to crack down here so that so many people aren't hurt, and I'm sure you'll understand.
And I'm really sorry. Yeah. I don't really, you know, feel good about giving you this ticket, but this is just something we have to do here.
We're trying to cut down on our deaths here. Oh, okay. And then we take our ticket, we say, God, what a nice guy. And we still
we got the ticket.
We got the consequence. So this whole thing of feeling sad for, like, I'm sorry this is happening to you, I guess this isn't working out. Well, we could give some examples of empathetic statements. Lisa, let's just say I'm a kid and I forget to take my medication, say an enzyme, and then I didn't take it this morning, and I come home from school and I say, God, I had the worst stomach ache at school today. You're going to say...
And I might say, oh, that's too bad, sweetheart. Wow, what a bummer. That's really, you know, you doing okay? Are things going better for you now? Or
thanks, Mom.
Yeah, would you like to go hang out over here on the couch for a little bit and lay down?
Thanks, Mom. Think of the difference between a mom who says, I told you not to forget your enzymes. You know how important that is.
Yeah, didn't I put them in your backpack? Didn't I? You know, don't you know you're supposed to take them before lunch?
I'll tell you, that empathy, when a kid makes a mistake and we're empathetic, it leads them to love us more, even though they're, quote, suffering the consequences. And one other thing I want to say about empathy that's really important, because people have empathy and sympathy mixed up. Let me say how important this is. Sympathy says, I feel your pain. That's sympathy. And it's kind of a nice thing. Oh, I feel your pain. I am so sorry that happened. I feel bad too. That only works if the parent and child have a really good relationship, because if I tell my kids, when you do this, it upsets me, obviously, if we don't have a good relationship and they do something, then, and they know it's going to upset me and we don't have a good relationship, it's their high road to heaven. They'll take it and they'll be rebellious. So the wording that we use in empathy is so important. And we say, gosh, I'm sorry you feel so bad. Boy, I bet you're disappointed. Gosh, I guess that didn't work out so well for you. Or conversely, boy, I bet you're happy about that. Boy, I bet you feel good about that.
Way to go, good decision.
Yeah, so it's laid.
I bet you feel good about that.
It's laid on the kid. It's not something that, oh, I feel so happy, I feel good, you know. That only works when there's a good relationship. And we want our kids to internalize all this stuff, and that's why we give them empathy. You'll never go to a really good therapist who bursts into tears when you talk about the divorces. That divorce story really hurts me too. It's probably the worst divorce story I've heard. Our therapist feels sad for us. He wishes it was different. He feels sorry we're going through it. He doesn't go through it. Now that's hard to do when we love our kids,
right,
because their pain is our pain. But the more you can get away from that and let their pain be their pain and their joys be their joys, the more self-actuated a kid you're going to have in the long run.
Thank you for your interest in Love and Logic's Parenting Children with Health Issues. For more parenting tools, tips, and tactics, including many free resources, visit parentingchildrenwithhealthissues.com. You can also visit loveandlogic.com for general parenting resources.